Good afternoon, Rotarians and guests. Welcome to the Rotary Club of Toledo. Glad everybody could be with us today. Now would be a great time to check in on social media, let everybody know where you are, let them know that you're at a great meeting. We should have a fantastic presentation. I'm looking forward to it. But also make sure you silence your phones, take a break, get a chance to enjoy some fellowship with everybody. I'd like to ask Mary Westfall to come to the podium to deliver our reflection and lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Mary.
Good afternoon, President Travis, fellow Rotarians, guests, and visitors. Today's reflection focuses on praying in a community as an opportunity to reframe life's challenges. Praying with a community alters us. Often, when life hurts, we pray by ourselves and assume that we are alone in our pain. When we enter a community to pray, our eyes are opened. We see that we are not alone in our pain. There are others who suffer too, and we also realize that we are not alone in the world. There are dozens of people praying for us and with us and extending their arms to help us. Suddenly, the nature of our prayers begins to change. We stop drowning in our self-pity. We stop praying for ourselves alone. Before long, we begin adding others to our prayers. We begin praying for our world. We begin to see our own troubles in a new light. Perhaps things aren't as bad as they seemed after all. Perhaps there is a strong path forward for each of us to reframe life's challenges when praying in and with the support, friendship, and loving care of a community. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Mary. Mary saved us this morning. We had a last-second cancellation for our reflection, so that was fantastic, especially given about a 30-second head start. So thank you, Mary. As we begin our meeting, I'd like to thank and acknowledge Hartman Bogan Financial Planning as this month's sponsor. So thank you, Donna Bogan, for our sponsorship this month. Does anyone have any guests they'd like to introduce? If so, please come to the floor mic.
Hi, honey.
Hi, darling.
I don't know if this is on.
It is.
I refuse to call him president. I'm sorry, as his spouse.
I'm trying, man, but nothing. No respect.
I would like to introduce Aaron Shutterly, good friend of ours, and we're getting him brainwashed to become a member. So, welcome. Thank you.
It's great seeing you, Aaron.
Thank you. Hello, President Travis. I have with me Janet Cullen. She is an EEG technician out of St. Vincent and a prospective board member for the Epilepsy Center. So,
Excellent. Glad you could be with us.
Thanks for having me.
President Travis, I have with me the Assistant Vice President of Waterford Bank, Caitlin Dumit, and she's also a upcoming class of 20 under 40.
Excellent.
And a prospective member.
Welcome. Congratulations.
President Travis and fellow Rotarians, I'm happy to introduce Natty Leschke of Natty Tech. It's a cybersecurity company, and she has put in her application to be a Rotarian.
Fantastic. Welcome, Natty. Look forward to getting to know you. Okay. I'd like to call Max Reddish to the floor mic for an announcement, please.
Why is this thing always so high?
I could say something, but
Hello, Mr. President. How are you today?
lovely yourself.
Good.
Excellent.
I'm here to talk about the collaboration happening this Saturday with the Greater Toledo Community Foundation and Habitat for Humanity. They're doing a Rock the Block in the Old South End from 10 to 1. And if anybody's interested in doing some cleanup in the Old South End this Saturday, go ahead and give Jackie a call, and she will hook you up with the people you need to know. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you, Max. So I think we've mentioned it a few times already this Rotary year, but we are looking to get a lot more active this year on the committee level, especially on the in-service projects as well. So any of you that have the availability this weekend, please help us clean up the Old South End and get involved. So I appreciate it. Thanks, Max. Tony Washington, would you please come to the mic?
Thanks, President Travis. It is with a great honor that I get to introduce an individual today. He embodies both resilience and determination. Hailing from the heart of Poltava, Ukraine, Danilo Lazarev found his way to us through an exchange program in August 21. However, fate intervened. He was unable to return home due to the ongoing war. Dan's story is one of strength and family support. His mother, a skilled dentist, and his father, a media professional, continued to hold the fort in Ukraine, working tirelessly to fuel Dan's aspirations here in the U.S. A dedicated student of political science, Dan is driven by a desire to tackle challenges akin to those that have touched his own life and that of his loved ones. Our connection to Dan was forged through the indomitable Councilwoman Sandra McPherson, who in her own style linked him with us through the office of U.S. Representative Marcy Kaptur. So let us welcome Danilo Lazarev with the spirit of business and camaraderie that defines the Rotary. His journey is a testament to the unyielding human spirit in the face of adversity. Thank you.
Good morning, Toledo Rotary. This is a great honor for me to be here and to be able to speak to remarkable people, truly. As Tony Washington already told, my name is Danilo Lazarev, but you can call me Dan because as I learned in my high school that I graduated from, Toledo School for the Arts, it's hard for people to spell my Ukrainian name, so Dan it is. But I have come here through the Flex program. It is an exchange program that is operating mostly in Eastern Europe to bring students from many different countries to spend 1 year in the US. Sadly, because of the full-scale invasion of Russia on the 24th of February 2022, I was unable to come back home in time because it was dangerous, and it did help me to stay here and graduate from an American high school with a US diploma, which even saying that right now doesn't even sound real. And I was able to do a lot of things, but I really miss my home, and I really wish I could come back, but as of right now, that is not possible. And but the big news, really excited, I am moving into BGSU campus tomorrow. I am now officially a Falcon. I have all of my stuff packed in. I am really excited. Me and my parents, who came to visit me a few months ago for my graduation, I got to see them again after not seeing them for 2 straight years. I left home when I was 16. They came for my graduation, and it was a lot of emotions. I didn't know that I missed them as much as I did, and I'm so happy they were here. But with my parents' help, we were able to get just about enough money to cover 1 year at Bowling Green State. To cover that 1 year, they gave me their entire life savings. Realistically, they will never be able to get that money back ever again, at all. And even then, comparing Ukrainian salaries to U.S. prices, they barely scratched the bottom with it, and it's just, it was a lot of hard work, it was a lot of uncertainty. I lost count about how many times I have lost hope that it's all even going to work out in the end, but thanks to Councilwoman McPherson and the amount of help that she's been giving me, just, she's a literal saint, and I don't know how I'm going to give back ever again, but this is all thanks to you. I am standing here talking to you all because of this woman, and I just want to say thank you. And I always like to tell that as hard as it is for me, and as much as I lose hope, I always remind myself why I'm here. And I always remind myself that it's because of people like you I am able to stay here. I'm able to get through college in the US, and it's all thanks to Toledo. Toledo has been a second family for me, and it's just, it's been great. And I am trying my hardest to just pull through, because, I mean, in life overall, you either swim or you drown, and I really don't want to drown, so I'm swimming like an athlete through life, and I'm just trying to do my best. Thank you.
And Dan did just recently get cleared to work here in the U.S., so he's available for hire, for if that interests anybody.
Dan, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for sharing your journey thus far. Rotary International's theme this year is Create Hope in the World. And you are the hope going forward. You are the future. Your courage, your family's courage, that brings hope to the world. Councilwoman, thank you for everything you've done there. I've got chills just talking about this right now, but I am so happy for you, and I look forward to everything else that you do while you're here and anything we can do to help support you. So thank you, Dan. Past President Alex Dew, would you please join me at the podium for a grant award?
Why are all these microphones so high? What a great presentation, Dan. Thank you. As a fellow Falcon, Dan, I can sing Ziggy Zumba if you want me to.
If we have time at the end of the meeting, I'm calling on you.
Thank you, Travis. I'll stick around. On behalf of the Rotary Club of Toledo Foundation and our club, we'd like to present a donation of $10,000 to the American Red Cross to support a blood services transport vehicle. Here to accept the grant and tell us more about how the donation will be used is Executive Director for the Western Lake Erie chapter of the American Red Cross, Rachel Hepner-Zawadny. Rachel?
Why are the microphones so short? I too am a Falcon, and I think I turned out okay, just like you do. And I will join you with the eyes like you Zumba. So, first of all, it's wonderful to be here. I see so many familiar faces. Your wife is one of my favorite tennis partners. So yes, so I have the pleasure of, yep, you're welcome. She's outstanding. So I just wanted to tell you thank you for this grant. One of the things that we're doing as an organization is kind of shifting our initiatives to more of a green initiative. So your donation, we actually, purchased it prior to the donation, was able to secure a brand new Toyota Sienna hybrid. For those of you that might be driving minivans, I've never driven a minivan, and I never swore I would drive a minivan, but this thing is legit nice, okay? So it is one of our people movers, so it replaced a 2008 Dodge Caravan with 239,000 miles on it. So as you can imagine, and what I mean by people mover, they're moving our phlebotomists to and from the very important blood drives that we have every single day. So this will be more reliable for our phlebotomists. It will be branded with the Rotary decal, hopefully within the next couple weeks, but I can't thank you enough for the support because we still are responsible for more than 40% of the national blood supply. So we want to make sure that oh, there it is. That's the old one, which was air conditioned on the bottom, not by choice. And the new one, this is the one that will get the decal. It's been in service for a couple months and we have just over 3,000 miles on it already. So it's going out every single day. So thank you for that. I would be remiss if I didn't do a shameless plug for donating blood. As you can imagine, we do need blood every single day and platelets. And when we're dealing with devastating natural disasters like what's happening in Maui, we want to make sure that there's enough blood products available for those individuals that need it. Even though they're all the way over in Hawaii, that doesn't mean that it can't happen here in those states. We cannot collect blood in those states when they're going through a disaster such as Maui. We do have one individual from our region that deployed to Maui last week. He's out of Findlay, and we're expecting to deploy more. It's the worst wildfire in the U.S. in over 100 years. So sheltered over 600 people last night, and we're expecting more. So if you want to give to the Red Cross, if you're asking how you can help, a financial contribution is the quickest way to put that money into action. Or you can get out your smartphone and you can text Hawaii to 90999 for a $10 donation. So we appreciate the support so much, not only for what you guys did for us with the van, but all the support that you give to the Red Cross across the country. So thank you.
Thank you, Rachel. Thank you, Alex. Before we get to our presentation today, I would just like to throw a quick reminder out that the best part, at least in my opinion, of coming to these meetings every week is the chance to talk at the tables, have time to be social. But I would love it if everybody could get here maybe a couple minutes earlier so we can get going a little closer on time. So that'll be the most I sound like a school teacher all year. But that's my only thing for the day. Sierra Hutton, would you please come to the podium for an announcement as well as to introduce today's speaker? Oh no, the swear jar is real.
Oh gosh,
Totally
I
real.
thought the swear jar was a joke. Okay, I gotta redo my whole thing. No, I'm just kidding. Hi everyone, I'm Sierra Hutton. I am the Membership Engagement Chair along with Alec Falkenberger, who's not here today, but we are very excited for, sorry, you probably know when I speak I'm always out of breath, but I swear to God, this baby inside me takes everything. It took my ability to eat, it took my ability to speak normal, it took it all. We still got a long way, so apologies in advance. But we have this incredible event coming up in just a few weeks, September 16th. It's a Saturday. If you were there last year, can you raise your hand if you're on the Sandpiper with us last year? Yeah. Did we not have the best time? Okay. The Sandpiper is one of the coolest events that we now do at Rotary, and I'm not saying that because it was like, I'm the membership chair. I'm saying that because it really is a lot of fun. So I hope that you all will come. It's going to be BYOB this year, so you can bring whatever you want to drink. We're going to have lots of snacks, lots of fun, and fingers crossed the weather is really nice. So it is $30 per person, so we encourage you to bring your significant other, older child, anything like that that you think would enjoy the Sandpiper. We have plenty of tickets still left, so if you just follow the QR code there, or you can easily just go to our website, check out all of our social posts as well. It just went out on all of our social media, so we hope to see you there. Okay, let me regather here. I got to get out. I told McKenna that I'm terrible at introducing people. And in my defense, when Jackie asked me, I thought I was introducing her as a new member and not her speaking. So apologies in advance that I'm clearly not prepared. McKenna, who I have seen speak multiple times now and is one of the best speakers I have ever heard, is a TEDx speaker who challenges men and women to reframe life's challenges into gifts and opportunities. I'm not going to go much into what she's going to talk about because I think she's going to get into a lot of this, but McKenna's going to talk about some of the life challenges that she has went through and how she's used that to, when a lot of people could have easily just taken it as a loss for their life and went downhill really quickly, she took it and turned it into a positive. So I'm going to invite McKenna up here to speak, and yeah. We're so excited to have you.
Thank you for being here. There's this. I have to turn this on. I hate podiums. So I am a teacher. So I'm a mover and a shaker. So just standing behind a podium is just not my thing. I'm also Italian. And so I talk with my hands a lot, so I gotta free myself. But thank you so much, Sierra. Thank you for that introduction. I am so honored to be here with you. It has been in the works of trying to figure out my schedule to be able to come and speak in front of you and to represent Toledo. My hometown is just such an honor. I love the opportunity anytime to share my mess. Because we know that our mess is our message, but our message is medicine for other people. And we need to continuously share our stories for people to understand that they're not alone. So let me talk about quickly, who am I? So some of you may know who I am. First and foremost, I'm a proud mother of two. My oldest, Carson, she's 11. She's going to be a 6th grader at McCord Junior High. My youngest, yes, with church, yep. Our kids went to daycare together. And my youngest, Maddox, she's going to be in 3rd grade at Sylvan. I am a proud wife. Greg Reitz is my husband. He originally was at University of Toledo as associate head volleyball coach there. He was the very first coach at Lourdes University, Lourdes College, and then switched to Lourdes University as the men's and women's volleyball coach there. Originally from Huntington Beach, California. And it's really funny because a lot of his recruits come from across the world. Australia, Brazil, Hawaii. We have a former player who's from Maui, and so we're making sure that his family is safe, and from California and on. And it's really funny, they call it the Toledo Vortex, because when you come here, you stay here, because you understand what an incredible community is, and their standard of living compared to California is slightly a lot better. And what I loved about, my husband had said, the people here are just so nice. I'm like, we are? And then I went to California, I'm like, we are very nice, and I'm very proud of who we are. So I grew up in Sylvania. I went to Northview High School. I went to then Hope College in Holland, Michigan, where I had the opportunity to play volleyball, and we got to travel to Switzerland to play. And then I came back because my ultimate goal was to teach and coach varsity volleyball. And I started actually at Bryan High School and then said, okay, Bryan's a little too small for me. And I came back to Toledo, and that's where I started at Springfield High School. And just 2 months ago, I started the AP psychology program, and just 2 months ago, I resigned from teaching. I have 17 more years to go in teaching in the classroom, and I have a purpose beyond the classroom walls. And everyone's like, you're not resigning from teaching, because I get to teach every single day, and that's why I have to remind myself that there is a bigger purpose outside the classroom. Besides teaching, I'm also a varsity volleyball coach, so I am still coaching at Springfield High School, and I don't coach for wins and losses, especially high school. You definitely are not doing it for the paycheck, that is for sure, but there's a reason why I wanted to coach, because of my coaches in my past, including my parents, changed my life. I am an athlete through and through, and they got me through some really tough times, and that's my goal. When I have these 14-year-olds come into my program, 1% of them are ever going to go off and play in college. So I need them to understand how amazing and how strong they are, and that they can stand on their own 2 feet. And so I get to watch them grow from being freshmen to graduating and standing on those 2 feet and being strong and confident in who they are. It's about the character that you exhibit off the court is going to bring the wins on and off the court. And this is what I love seeing. I might have beaten Northview at this match. And it was really exciting. But this is what I love, their faces. Their faces is that pure enjoyment of understanding how much hard work it takes in order to succeed in life. And we're not talking about dollar values. We're not talking about wins and losses. We're talking about standing up and being able to reframe life's challenges. This number 12, I know I just said 1% go to college, but number 12 is now just starting at Bradley University. Her dad was my principal and former AD, Rob Brown. And then number 2 is actually going on a full ride to Cincinnati. So very rare when they're going somewhere. But everyone else, this is what I love right here. I love leadership. I was a setter. I guess I still am a setter, I guess. But setters are the quarterbacks. Setters get to run the show on the volleyball court. And I get to talk to my players. I get to talk to my coaches and figure out what do we need to do in order to be as effective as possible. I get to stand here today and look at every single person here who is a leader. You are a leader in your own right, whether it's by the position and the title that you have or the position that you just take in life. But what we need to understand is that leadership isn't about you. I'm not here for me. I am here for others. And so I need my student athletes, for my 11-year-olds to understand that when you open up a door for someone, you're not doing it for you to make yourself feel good. It's to help out with other people, but it starts with you. And so we have to take the time like you're doing right now, which I applaud you, in order to grow, in order to network, in order to expand and better yourself every single day. And if you don't take the time to do that in life, you're never going to expand and have the impact that you've been wanting to have in your life. So I know you don't have paper and pen, and as a teacher, I'm going to make you do something. Okay, but I want you to just think about it. Okay, I want you to think that, I'm going to pick on Tony, but if I said, hey, Tony, I don't know you, give me just 10 words that you would use to describe yourself. You're not going to, but this is what I just want you to think about right now. If I had to go to a former teacher, a teacher of a student that I'm about to have, or, a parent, hey, I'm going to have your son and daughter in class. Tell me a little bit about them. Now, I will be honest, I never did that as a teacher because I wanted to create my own perspective of the student. Because the different perspectives, when you hear, oh, so-and-so's coming into work, I want to create my own perspective of that person. But I want you to think about what are the 10 words that you would write down right now that would describe you. And if you're like, oh, I don't know, and if it's difficult, then you need to take the time to reflect and think about what are the words that describe you. So I'll give you my list. I'm a mom, I'm a leader, I'm an athlete, I'm empathetic, I'm a daughter, I'm relentless, I'm compassionate. These are different words that I use to describe me, and we're going to talk about our brand. I love talking about what you represent. So, president, you're like, oh no. Right. Quiz. No, I'm just kidding. Give me, pick 3 numbers for me. Doesn't matter. 1 through 6. 2, 5, 6. Okay. So let's pretend you have a list, and I'm going to tell you to cross off number 2, number 5, and number 6. I don't remember what words are. Okay. Number 2. If I crossed off leader, that means that I have never been a leader in my life. That has never given me the structure, the ability to communicate. It would not be a part of my life. 5, right? You said 2, 5, yeah. I am the proudest daughter of Russ and Serena Tryon. They are my everything. I would not be standing here being confident in my mess if I didn't have them as my parents. And empathetic. I thought I was empathetic before. I had no idea. And so what this is telling you is thinking about what would your life be like without those words in it? What would your life be like if you were a son or daughter of someone else? If you didn't understand empathy, if you weren't a leader, if you weren't relentless, if I wasn't a mom? Everyone battles something. Everyone has a story. And that's what I've learned through my journey, is that everyone here is battling something. You just get to hide it. My story is visible all the time. It used to not be because I tried to hide it, but I realized the impact that I can have by no longer hiding. And it allowed me to feel the energy of people walking in and out, of understanding if they're having a good day or bad day. I could feel the energy of my students coming in, and I could tell, should I talk with them, or should I just give them some space? Or should I get all excited? And you figure it out. Quick story, I was at the grocery store. This is COVID time. When you couldn't lick your fingers to open up plastic bags. Don't use plastic bags. I know they're bad for the environment. I was not using them, okay? But there's this gentleman who is in the produce section, and he's struggling, like trying to open up the bag. So I went up to him, because you have two choices. You can just, good luck, buddy, walk away, or I'm going to go help him. So I said, excuse me, sir. I always have a pain with those two. Go touch the lettuce. He's like, excuse me? I'm like, go touch the lettuce. I'll get your fingers wet and you can open up the bag. So he did. So make sure you wash your lettuce, by the way. But just saying, because a lot of people touching them. But his face just got huge smile on his face. And you thought that he had just won $1 million. And that's what it is I knew he was struggling with something. And you have the two choices. Are you going to help them, or are you going to walk away? So my story is visible. 8 years ago, this is a little bit familiar, this is what I used to look like. I was known for my thick, beautiful hair. Since 5 years old, the moms would always say, oh, I wish I had half this hair. Loved, it took me a while to figure out how to tame the beast of the hair, and then I was able to fall in love with it. And we had our youngest, this is Carson when she was 2, but we had our youngest in May of 2015. And in the state of Ohio, volleyball starts every August 1st. Okay, every August 1st, which means stress is happening. School's starting, trying to get the classroom ready. Stress. Just had a baby. And when I started teaching, I noticed that my shoulders were covered with hair. And I thought it was just normal postpartum hair shed. And I went to the dermatologist. They're like, oh, you could have something called alopecia and you could lose all your hair. Excuse me? Like, what? I could lose all my hair? There's no way. But they gave me some topical creams in order to slow it down. November 1st of 2015, we took our family pictures, and I looked at them, because we got them back pretty quickly, and I noticed my hair was substantially thin. You can't tell, but I could tell. Little did I know that this would be the very last picture I'd ever take with hair. By the end of the week, I was standing in the shower with my hands full of hair and in complete disbelief. This is the only picture I was able to even muster up any type of courage to take. I felt as though as every hair that fell out of my head, my identity was being ripped away from me. And I remember standing in the bathroom, just like trying to close off from life and thinking, how am I going to be a mom? I've got 2 beautiful little girls. They were 3 and 4 months old at the time. How am I going to be a teacher? Is my husband still going to love me? By the end of November, 95% of my hair was gone, and I was diagnosed with the autoimmune disease alopecia. September is Alopecia Awareness Month, FYI, hence the blue. Look, I'm ironic. Blue Devils, blue, I got it. Okay, but anyways, it's an autoimmune disease that attacks your hair follicles and causes your hair to fall out. There's 3 different types. There's areata, which is just little spots on your head. That is one of the most common. There's totalis, which is loss on your whole head. And then there's universalis. That is losing every single hair on your body. And this sounds weird, but I was fortunate enough that I have universalis. I lost every hair on my body. Ladies, you know, I don't have to shave anymore. It is beautiful. But the crazy thing is that I even lost my nose hairs. Right. And so when people are like, do you want your hair back? I said, no, I need my nose hairs back first, because I could be standing up here and mucus just could drip out of my nose. Like that your nose hairs are there for a reason. And then I take my eyelashes, and then I don't want my hair back, because of the journey that I've been on has taught me the beautiful mountain that I have been given. However, it took me a long time to get through that. That first year, I exhausted every possibility to get my hair back because I was so desperate. I went to the measures of having weekly steroid injections into my scalp for 6 months. And then I said, I'm done. But you would never see me without a hat, without a wig. I finally got wigs, but I'd never dye my hair. Why would I dye my hair? I don't want to ruin my hair, then it falls out. So I got a blonde one, I got a red one, I got a brown one. Have fun with it. But I will never forget, my youngest was around 3. And we got done with an event, and we get into the car, and I rip my wig off, because they're very uncomfortable. And she says to me, Mom, I can't wait to be an adult and take my hair off too. Right. I'm like, oh. Because for me, I was wearing a wig to hide. Because I was so ashamed and embarrassed of my own reflection. And then I realized, these little cute little girls are watching my every move. And that's how they see it. My mom is the coolest. She gets to take her hair off, and I can't wait until I get to also. And it started to really change my mind, because for me, I was allowing alopecia to define me for far too long. From being me, from being confident. And so I made the decision to define it. And so I want you to think about, what is your it that you're battling right now? You're thinking, what's going on the rest of your day? I got to go to the grocery store. I got to finish doing all these calls. I got to pick up the kids. I got to do this. Or is it huge mountains? My dad was in ICU all week last week. He's home safe, thankfully. But everyone always has an it. My it is just visible. And so you have to make the choice. Is your it going to define you, or are you defining it? So I made the choice that I'm going to define it. And I took these pictures with my daughters, and these pictures mean the world to me. This was in 2018. Still, I wouldn't go out in public without a hat on or wig. Because you know who I was most afraid of and who was holding me back? Me. I was my own worst enemy. And I remember going into the year of 2019, a school year, and I asked my players, I'm thinking about starting the school year bald. What do you think? They're like, finally, we've been waiting for you. I've been so concerned what other people think that I wasn't focusing on what I thought. And I was working out, and I found a quote that I talk about all the time. You've probably heard it from me before, but I live by it. Captain Jack Sparrow of the Pirates of the Caribbean. The problem is not the problem. The problem is not the problem. The problem is your attitude about the problem. We in this room specifically love to be in control, and when we're not in control, we're going to do whatever we can to get into control. But we waste so much energy on what is out of our control that we lose sight of what we are always in control of, and that's our attitude, our mindset. And so we have to be able to give ourselves a grace period. It's okay to cry. I just don't cry anymore. My well is so dry because I cried so much in that first year. I don't cry anymore. I do have a soul, I promise. It's just I have a different mindset now. You have to give yourself a grace period. Give yourself 24 hours. Cry, be weak, because that is when you're most strong. To understand, you know what, I need help right now. I am weak, I'm struggling with something. And it's okay to say it out loud. Surround yourselves with others, people that care. And when my husband said to me as I'm losing my hair, said, McKenna, it's just hair, in that moment, I wanted to punch him in the face. Because if you didn't notice, he's bald too. Works out really well. But I was so concerned that he wasn't going to love me, but I thought he was just saying a line. But it took me almost 40 years and losing every hair in my body to love my reflection. And it stopped me in my tracks to say, wow, my husband really does love me. I didn't love myself. And that was the biggest part of it. And so once I started changing my attitude, and once I started finding the silver linings of not having hair, do you know how many there are? Because I am never having a bad hair day. I don't have to worry about rain. I don't have to worry about getting, humidity, which was the worst. And you're never going to know how old I am. Because I'm never going to have gray hair. Boom, right? So as a leader, Simon Sinek says, a leader first and foremost is human. We are human. We do not have to show perfection. Only when we have the strength to show our vulnerability can we truly lead. The fact that I stood in front of my AP psychology students as my hair is receding back, I'm having a headband on, and I said, I'm starting to look different. My hair's falling out. I don't know why. We didn't know what it was. That moment of vulnerability, everyone's like, when was the moment? When was the defining moment? It was then, because it gave them space to understand that I'm healthy, like I am perfectly healthy. I just don't have hair. To give me some space as I'm going through whatever I am, and vice versa. But we have to be authentic. We have to be vulnerable to say, you know what, I'm having a terrible day today. And it's okay. It's okay to not be okay. The amount of times I have to say this to my students for them to understand, because we feel so alone that we're going through whatever it is, because you throw social media in there and we're comparing, but they're doing this. Stop comparing and be inspired by other people that they're still fighting every single day. So when you're about to compare yourself to someone who's making money or has the body or working out, whatever it is, wow, that's amazing, good for them. And allow it to puff up your chest a little bit more and say, you know what, I'm gonna go for a walk. Allow it to inspire you. What you do has greater impact than what you say. The talk is great, but it's the actions, how you walk into this room, how you represent yourself. And so going back to that list, if I went to a friend, what are those first 3 words that would come out of their mouth about you? Or maybe it's a stranger who just came into contact with you. Are they words that you'd be proud of? That is your brand. And so I hope that when people hear McKenna Reitz, they're thinking relentless, confident, resilient, a mother, a coach, a leader, a teacher. That doesn't matter if I'm at Kroger or if I'm standing in front of incredible people like you. I hope that my brand is what I represent. And so I want you to start to reflect. We as leaders need to continuously reflect on what is our leadership brand. What do you stand for? What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? I have terrible weaknesses. But the fact that I can stand up here and say, I have great strengths, but I am terrible at remembering names. So if you, thank you. It would take me like 3 months to figure out my students' names, because knowing their names wasn't important. It was learning them was more important for me. But we want to hide our weaknesses because of that inferiority complex. And so we're going to enhance our strengths, but keep pushing down our inferiorities. But instead, step back and focus on, how can I become a better person of remembering names? And so for me, I have something called the 5 steps to identifying your leadership brand. We're not going to go through them. You're like, thank God. But I'm going to provide you with the worksheets at the end if you would like it. But I do want to go to number 5. Number 5 is be your brand all the time. What you want to represent, even if you have to fake it until you make it, be that person. Because I have 2 young daughters who are watching my every move, and they were the big reason why I took my wig off, because I need them to not only be able to love themselves unconditionally, but I need them to accept and celebrate diversity and diversity within our society, because it's what makes it so beautiful. My girls don't remember me with hair anymore. My 4-month-old never remembered me with hair. And they are so proud when they come home from school and they draw a picture of their family and I'm bald. When my daughter came back from kindergarten, my oldest, I cried because I was so ashamed and so embarrassed. But then I realized how lucky I am that I have 2 daughters that love me unconditionally. I have a husband that loves me unconditionally. I love me unconditionally. And so I hope that that's what I portray. I am my brand in every step. It's who your proximity. Who do you associate yourself with? You've seen that, friends, people come in for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. And you have to continuously surround yourselves with people that are continue building you up instead of breaking you down. To stay consistent with your desired brand, you must continue reflecting. What is your vision? Hey, my vision was always teach high school, coach varsity volleyball, sail out into the sunset, teach for 35 years and be done. White picket fence. I hit all those goals by 35, master's degree, everything. And I kept asking myself, now what? I love goals. I'm a little bit competitive. And so I had to continuously start reflecting. And then when alopecia happened for me instead of to me, and understanding that, it showed me my true purpose in life. It had always been there. I just had refused to see it. And so I am a firm believer that your beliefs are your thoughts, and your thoughts are your actions, and your actions create reality. So think about that. Your beliefs are what you create your thoughts. Your thoughts dictate your actions. So if I'm feeling good today, I'm going to be standing a little bit tall, and then it's going to create my reality. And so even if you're having a terrible day, find a way that's going to allow you to stand a little bit taller, to believe in yourself a little bit more. Take a deep breath. Go sit down for 5 minutes and meditate, as difficult as it is. But do something for you. And I am a firm believer that you can't handle success if you don't experience failure. I want my team to lose. I know. I want my team to lose because it is what we gain in that loss that's going to make us that much better. Those pictures that I showed you for my volleyball team, the Tuesday before, that was a Thursday, that Tuesday before we went to Anthony Wayne and got demolished. And we talk about it. What can we gain from this? How can we get better from this? And we turn around and have the best match of our lives. That's what life is. If I look at my loss, I look at my failures, it got me to here right now. And I'm so proud of it. So I want you to understand that you are enough. Your story matters. That you are worth it. Whatever dreams you have, as scary as they are, that means it's a damn good dream. Because you're scared of it. And people ask me, how is it being retired from teaching? I said, I'm not retired. I would still have 17 years. I resigned. I took a leap of faith because I have a bigger purpose beyond the classroom walls. I still get to go talk to Timber Stone. I still get to be in the classroom. It's in a different way because that's my purpose. And my loss in my life has empowered me beyond belief. And I am forever grateful for you, for showing up for you to become a better leader. And if you wanted that 5 steps to leadership and creating it's just a quick workbook. It's a PDF. You can just download it from there, from that QR code. But again, if there's any way that I can ever support you, please let me know because I am here. You are part of the Toledo community. That means the world to me, that I'm very fortunate to call home. And I appreciate all of you. So thank you so much.
McKenna, thank you. We do have a few minutes if you would like to have any questions. Come to the floor, Mike.
Rachel, I am a short person, so.
Thank you.
Hi, McKenna.
Hi.
My name is Allison, and I guess, can you tell me what you said you had a baby, the stress of going back to school and coaching. So is that what made it all of a sudden like come out in your body, or is it how does it happen with like the alopecia?
Yeah, great question, because I'm still wondering the same question.
Oh, okay.
No, so alopecia affects 6.8 million Americans. It does not discriminate towards age, gender, or ethnicity. About 140 million people in the world are affected by alopecia. There is no specific cause. Really. It can be genetic. Can they say that about everything? It could be genetic. It could be stress-induced. I think for me is a perfect storm. And also, when you have one autoimmune disease, you usually have multiple. So I have hypothyroidism as well. And I believe it was just truly the perfect storm. Just had a baby, had the, all of the pressure on the body, but then school starting, volleyball starting. I had thrown my parents a surprise 40th anniversary party in August too. It was just a perfect storm. And then you throw in my other autoimmunes, and that was the most difficult part of the process. It's okay. It was too high.
Jeez. How about I'll just hold it?
Good idea. But that was the difficult part of the process because there wasn't an answer.
Yeah.
I wanted an answer, even if it was the worst thing in the world. I needed something in that dark time, just to say, it's this, okay. Well, at least we know what it is, and now we can fix it, and that made it the journey that much more difficult.
Yeah. And then just another comment. So I have an almost 4-year-old at home and a 1.5-year-old. And the 4-year-old, her name's Beckett, and we started teaching her about telling us what her emotions are. We said, what are your emotions? We have an emotions chart. so that she can talk to us and tell us like what she's feeling, because we really want that. That's really important to us. We want her to be a kind young little girl at daycare. But they're really freaking smart. She starts using it now on me. So just like your daughter said to you, like, I can't wait till, mine's like, Mommy, what's your emotion?
Yep.
What's your emotion, Mom? And I'm like having an argument or I'm crying or whatever. I'm a very sensitive individual. I tend to get my thoughts out or my feelings out by crying, but it checked me.
Yeah.
Because now I'm like, okay, they're watching. They're watching everything we do.
And the amazing thing about that is that children, especially at that age, they don't have a history. Like we have infantile amnesia until around 3, so we're not formulating those long-term memories. And so they don't have a history go off, they just say it how it is. Whereas we have a history that we are basing our emotions off of. It worked or it didn't work or whatever it may be. And I think that's amazing. Kids check you.
They do.
They do.
Thank
you so much. Hi,
First
friend.
of all, welcome to the team.
Woo-woo! I beat you, though.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, well. Mine's just going a little more slowly.
Yeah.
First of all, I remember the days at Over the Rainbow as you were struggling through this and passing by you and wondering what's going on. And to see you on the other side now, huge thank you for being who you are. Congratulations.
Thank you so much, friend. I appreciate you. Thank you, thank you.
Thank you so much for the presentation. Absolutely amazing. I'm blown away. I've known you in a few different capacities, but like you're absolutely glowing.
Thank you.
The question I had was during your journey, and obviously there was some lows. Were there any practices that you picked up that kind of helped maybe redirect your thoughts or your energy?
Cry with the doors closed. That was my big thing. I didn't want my kids to watch me cry. That was, and I have to teach them how to get through adversity. But for me, I had to understand that I just need to show up. My mom kept saying, McKenna, I don't know how you do it. I would say, there's no other choice. I didn't miss school. I didn't miss time. Like, I would spend a little bit more time in bed than normal. But you got to go all in. But we have to understand that all in is going to be different every day. That me moving from the bed to the couch, that was my all in, and I'm applauding myself that I got out of bed and moved to the couch. And that's what we have to stop doing, is putting so much pressure on ourselves that we have to be producing every single time and every single minute of every single day. You're producing. It just might not be what you're used to, but you have to be okay with that. Allow yourself the grace period. Surround yourselves with others and find the silver linings. As deep as sometimes you have to go, find the silver lining, because there's always a silver lining, and focus on that. The whole thing, well, it could be worse. Yeah, it could be worse. But it's not. And I'm very blessed because it's not worse. So I think the constant reflection, I didn't have anything else, but it was just communicating. And that's, especially, and my husband, just talking my emotions out is always sometimes a difficult thing, but I had to do that in order to get it off my chest. But thank you. Anything else? All right. Thank you so much again.
Stick tight. Oh, maybe. It is, right? It's too low. McKenna, thank you so much. On behalf of the club, I'd like to present you with Historical Tales of Toledo, which was written by past President Clint Mock. We'll also be donating in your name to the Polio Plus campaign. I love that. So thank you very much for being here. It was fantastic.
Hey, Travis, can I say something?
Hi. Yeah.
Hey, I just want to say that I've been in practice for almost 47 years, and I've seen a lot of patients in grief and depressed and illnesses and bad outcomes. And I always tell them one story I learned in my 6th grade, the story of Mr. Cheerful. This person was always happy no matter what happened. And then one day, this person was involved in a train accident and he's lost his leg. Then a few months later, he came back to his class. And the kids were sort of really perplexed, what to expect. What is he going to say? And Mr. Cheerful said, the very first day he came back to school, from now on, I just have to buy one shoe. So his attitude towards his misfortune.
I love it.
And her story is similar in a way.
Yep. Thank you, Rios. Okay, so join us next week, August 21st. We will be joined by guest speaker Scudder Mackey, who is the Chief of the Office of Coastal Management with ODNR. Rachel, thanks for being with us today. Appreciate it. Dan, thank you so much for sharing your story and being here. We have one committee meeting this afternoon, which is the membership committee. We'll be meeting in Summit A. And with that, we are adjourned. Go out and create hope in the world, everybody. Thanks for being here. Alex, you're lucky I forgot. I literally was going to have her sing.
There's no talk about it yet.